on, but let's see. Let me know if you see me and hear me. Okay. All right. Welcome to the channel. This is Clarityempress, the Empress of Clarity. Trying overhead view right now. Didn't prepare my desk well enough for that, but and I'm trying to get these camera angles going right. There you go. That's a little better, so you could just see the cards as I pull them. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing great. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section. Let me know if the reading resonates with you. Now, let me see if I can go into comment mode or something. I don't know. Let's see. No. Do I see me? Do I see me on? Oh, yeah, I'm already there. Cool. All right, y'all. So what's up this Friday night? Last 2 days of Black History Month. So, some choices are irreplaceable. Some things are irreplaceable, right? Oh, shoot. But choices always have an outcome, okay? That means there's always consequences for the choice. Whew. I already see what I gotta do. So, if this is your first time coming to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. What's up, Bite? Ring that bell. That way you notice every time I come on. So, I don't know. I gotta change some things. Let me see. Uh-oh. Let me get on here. Let me turn that down. Okay, y'all hear me fine? I can hear me. I can hear me just fine. And now I can chat with y'all from the computer or the phone. So that's what's up. Make sure you like the live though. So I just came off of a live on TikTok, right? And it's this guy, Roman. Oh my gosh. So Roman is, I think he's a Black Chair. He's a psychologist, right? I can't remember his credentials. It was all around the time of TikTok universities, right? So today's topic was the avoidant. And well, not just the avoidant, but I think it was why the avoidant ghosted you. Okay, specifically that he was going to call certain people's avoidances. He was trying to call them. He said, "I'll just simply call them and say hi." So why did you end the relationship? Why did you end it with this person on their behalf, which is crazy. Anyway, yeah. So he was getting ready to do that. Oh, let me see something. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so he explained to the people that were confused, and he does like I guess he does one-on-ones too. But he was saying that the avoidant person will ghost you when they go back to the trauma bond they already had. He said a lot of times that trauma bond could be their family member, um, could be another relationship altogether, but he was giving examples going back to an abusive, um, drunken, narcissistic parent, right? Specifically, he said the mother. He said, a lot of times the mothers are trauma bonded and codependent on the avoided son. And he said that what he said is like an emotional blackmail. He said they're never gonna leave her. They're always going to go back to her, but it puts you in a position that they will always kind of go back and forth, or you how he explained it. Whatever he was saying was making a lot of sense for a lot of people on the live, but yeah, basically there's some type of emotional blackmail. It's diabolical. And then people asked about, well, these same people, they'll stalk you or whatever. He said, yeah, but they only stalk you because um you they idealize you. You are, if they stalk you, it's because they don't want the relationship. They want the idea of you, because they can cope. That's what he said. They can cope with the abusive parent situation. They live through that. They know what that's like, but they can't imagine being with you and then somehow the situation ends and y'all break up and y'all not together anymore. You leave them, so they could deal with all the trauma and the trauma bonding in that other relationship, but then they can't handle what might happen with you. So they're going to stick with that. And he said sometimes they stick with that in death. You know what I'm saying? They stick with that to death. Like there's no closure for them if that parent was to die. And that parent, he said that parent will not discard them because it's the thrill of having what he said, I guess the control. Yeah. He said that it was the control and having something over them, because it was an emotional blackmail. That's what it was. And it's crazy. That comes across my table. That comes across other readers' tables and readers that I listen to. I can't speak for everybody. But that same scenario, we may not say it as readers has as eloquently as I heard him say it, but it's exactly what goes on. That manipulation and that abuse, right? And how they're not, 9 times out of 10 they're not willing to break it because I can't leave my mom, I can't leave my dad, I can't leave, like, they have convinced themselves that they cannot leave abuse. And so it was a couple of people on there, he started answering and he tried to call some guy, but it went, I didn't even know these phones do that. I heard it before, but I have it on my business line. I don't have it on a regular phone. But now you have to announce yourself on these phone calls. And so he couldn't get through to the person. I don't know. I don't think that means you're blocked, or maybe that's for unfamiliar. I don't even know what carrier does that. That's interesting. I'm thinking about how can I do that besides my Google number. But anywho, he couldn't get through to the person to, I guess, set an example, so to speak. But yeah, he broke some stuff down for people. Hmm. Yeah, loyalty abuse. Yeah, and I was talking to a friend today, and we were trading stories because she shared with me how her sister-in-law is like emotionally attached to a father who stabbed her in the leg, and God knows what else they did, and they were a womanizer and a beater. But yet it was always, my dad is the best dad ever. She's like, the same one that stabbed you in the leg? That dad? Hmm. Just like these parent wounds people haven't unpacked. And then they become emotionally avoidant because then they shut down on a person that they could have a good experience with, because they're scared they're going to lose that person. So they go back to the trauma and then they shut down. Oh, that's crazy. There's a lot of that, though. A lot of people like that. So, but consequences and choices, right? That's the name of the day, the order of the day. Um, what's today? Today's the 27th. So yesterday was a 226 portal, right? So the month is a 2, the day was 26, and the year is 226, right? And When you add that up, it equal 20, or you break it down to a 2. Either way, 2s and 20. 20 in tarot is judgment, meaning a major decision, and 2 equals making a major decision. There are choices to be made. So we are in the age right now where a lot of things have to be decided. Stuff is not going to stay the same, period. So things must be decided in your life. And those choices and those decisions, I should say, have consequences, good or bad. I feel like sometimes they're not really good or bad. They're just gateways to other choices. Sometimes you realize I may not have made the best choice. How do I recall that choice, or how do I redirect my energy back? Because, when we're born in this incarnation, we have decisions that we have to make, right? And well, I'll put it this way: we have a goal to learn something, to experience something, whatever it is that we made that agreement with spirit. We have that to do. We have to decide, how am I going to get there? What route am I going to take? And sometimes we take alternate routes. Those alternate routes are different decisions. And then sometimes those alternate routes take us a place, we learn something, and then we get back on the path. That's just kind of how life can go. It's not really a straight and narrow type of thing. You feel me? Okay. Too much falling out my hand. Not taking all that till I call it. But spirit, give me a message for the collective. What do they need to know and or be aware of about this person that might be avoiding in their life, or they taking alternate endings with? Tell me more, spirit. Ooh, the answer is no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Another, tell me more. Okay. Before I go further, my 5 card spirit. Spirit said basically that y'all could be a tribe. This is soul tribe. So you're not like married to this person. You're not blood to this person, but you are something to somebody. So this is given soul tribe, right? The answer is no. So your spirit guides may not be interested in this person being in your life. You may be very much not interested in this person being in your life. And spirit said the reason why is because they have to do the work. This person has to heal. This person has to answer those parent wounds. They have to answer all those traumas that they have been avoiding by trying to resonate with other people, right? Because people like this, what I was describing, they don't really like to be alone with themselves for long, even if they have moments of isolation. They don't really like themselves, so they will go and distract themselves with other people, right? Really, that's what it boils down to. It's like a lot of their connections are not close, they're just a distraction from the stuff they're not dealing with. And until they actually do the work of healing, they're not gonna they're not gonna be able to have you in their life. Spirit will throw them roadblocks and send them off your path. Tell me more, spirit. Yeah, surrender. That's the challenge and the lesson. This person has not surrendered. And it's not about conceding control over themselves to you. Not like that. It's surrendering the bad habits. It's surrendering um the the bad character traits. I don't know, the character traits that don't resonate for a relationship. It's surrendering the blackmail that they are receiving from said parent or other relationship, whatever. Because they could have not only like he was explaining. And I know I've said this before, which I like hearing it from somebody else, because I'm like, he's coming from a clinical perspective, but sometimes the control issues that they are facing are coming from multiple sources, right? So not only is it a parent, it could be another relationship, it could be a job, and it could also be simultaneously, because this person is kind of a glutton for that. They receive that from multiple people and sources, if that makes sense, right? All right, tell me more, spirit. Yeah. So there's no returning to you without a metamorphosis, or necessarily. I always have to make sure I say this, not because mainly because everybody's situation is different. Now everybody is going to want to return, okay? But your person, this is what your person is going to go through, a metamorphosis of something. What's the bottom of the deck? Oh, and I just heard they also have to learn to say no. Your person is in deep contemplation because they have a decision to make. So it's not about you, but it is, because this is your person and they're in your energy and they're thinking about you. They're contemplating you. Whether they could be with you or not, that's not what I'm really, I feel like that's not really what spirit is getting with the most part. I just feel like this person has some major shadow work, because if it didn't work with you, it's not necessarily going to work with anybody long term. Okay. It's not because um they can't have a relationship, but it is because they can't have a relationship if they can't work, if they don't work on themselves. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that means. So they have to go see about that. You know what I'm saying? Folks have to go see something, read a book, listen to a podcast that's talking about healing versus a podcast that's telling you, giving you red pill content. You know what I'm saying? They have to do more than make money. You got to work on your mental hygiene, your spiritual, your emotional hygiene. Like all of those things play together with your physical and financial. And I feel like there's a lot of men in particular who get half the message when it comes to that. Where the women, typically, we want to nurture our feelings. That's why we know how to do community, whereas men don't. They don't connect like they could or should with one another, or resources. So they tend to be in the dark about a lot of things, and they don't do the work. So the answer is currently no for whoever this is. If they were trying to come back in your energy, if they were trying to have something tangible like what you had, Spirit said, the answer is no, because they haven't done no actual work. That's what I'm getting. This person hasn't looked within. They ain't contemplation energy, but it could be that they just sitting there thinking about you when they need to figure out what they're gonna do with their own life. Right? Sometimes you can be a distraction as well because they're not doing the work. The challenge and the lesson is for them to surrender. Tell me about the tribe, Spirit. Yep, no direction. And that comes up a lot in my readings. I don't know about anybody else, but no direction. They have lost direction. What is it? It's in this deck here. Lost on this journey comes up a lot. The person that's in this well, they might be a hangman energy, but it's in this contemplative energy, is lost. They don't know what direction to take, where to go, how to get there. Tell me more. Yeah, because they bound to that situation. This person is locked in with an abusive person that they refuse to leave because they feel like they can navigate that situation because it's always abusive. Whoever, whatever it is. Okay. And they're choosing that trauma bond over the tribe. This is what I'm getting. They're choosing the trauma bond over the tribe. So the answer from you and spirit is no. Absolutely not. You see, it's dry right here. All the opportunities there have dried up because of the choices they made to stay bonded and not in a, or bound, and not in a healthy connection. There it is. And that's what the current energy says, right? So current energy is no. Tell me more, spirit. Yeah, dark night of the soul. This person, listen, they going through a metamorphosis as we speak. That's part of their contemplative energy. They're going through a dark night of the soul because whatever they're doing with the karmic, whoever the karmic is to them, is like rock bottom energy. It's kind of like whoever that person is takes them through it and down below. Like, they say, we go high, I go to hell. This person, whoever they're with, drags them through hell. And they just go willingly, though. They can change, right? It's given Eight of Swords, even though I'm not using tarot right now. It's given Eight of Swords, like this person feels mentally and emotionally trapped with whoever this connection is. All right. And that's why they can't have a relationship with you. And that will never work because you guys, my collective has standards. Y'all don't play that. You're not sitting there playing no games with nobody who's willing to be a dusty, musty, crusty and married to their avoided, drunken, what he said, narcissistic type parent. You know what I'm saying? You're not, that's no. So in the hidden energy, they're required to do the work on themselves. Shadow work is a very personal journey. It don't involve a lot of people. You can involve your therapist, mentor, uh, elder support, or somebody who has a certain level of expertise to help guide you through this. Right? Could be a shaman, could be a reader, whoever you trust to take you to the next level in life and address some of the uglies that you need to address, right? Them parent wounds, point that out. And I was talking to a mentee the other night, I think I was telling y'all, but she told me something about a guy that she was interested in, and immediately I heard red flag, flag on the play. And she was like, really? I said, yeah, why XYZ, da 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 da, and she completely understood what I meant. Sometimes we need another perspective. I said, you going down the same road you went down before. That's a red flag. You shouldn't have to do boop, 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 right? Flag on the play. She heard me loud and clear, and I was grateful too, because I didn't want to have to drill it. Compromise. Oh, okay. So that's the part of the problem in hidden energy. This person lacked compromise with you. It was their way of the highway or no way at all. So here we go where somebody has a challenge with compromise. Maybe they don't come from somebody that compromise. So the only way to get there, I don't know. Some people project what they don't have on a person that they think they can, but they will not do that to the person that's holding them in this emotional, what you call it, like that bribery. What I was saying, um, the person that got something on them, you know what I'm saying, feels like they can control them. They won't try with them, but they'll try with you. So in their shadow work, they have to deal with compromise in a relationship because apparently they don't know how. Tell me more, spirit. I like this angle. I just wish my gooseneck didn't move so much. Offer. You know, I was telling Black Cherry today, I had lots of downloads because I didn't get on last night. I was too busy and tired. And then they just kept coming today. Titles, things Spirit want me to say. And one of them is that when it comes to offer, Spirit said, you're not offering this person anything anymore. That's why the answer is no. So when they had an open invitation or a direct invitation from you, and they, let's just say they declined the invitation, your spirit guides told you don't give them any more invitations. No more offers when it comes to you. They did not acknowledge your offer. Don't make no more moves. No more moves toward this person. Okay? Because there's no work. They didn't do the work. Tell me more. And now I'm not surprised they in regret. Honestly, I'm not. That this person is in regret right now. Because the choice that they made to stay in an abusive relationship, to stay bound with the devil energy. This person feel like they can't, I can't leave. I can't, I have to save the family. This is exactly what he said tonight. And I'm like, oh my God, you'd have thought he was a reader. But he was like that this person is Captain Save a Hoe, but they're saving whoever this person is to them. It don't matter who, flesh or blood, whatever. Okay, they regret over those decisions because things are changing whether this person wants it to or not. There's a metamorphosis happening, but it could be that they're being discarded by somebody, or there's a certain life transition happening that's causing this person to be in regret. And on top of that, they don't have you. Oh, and today, and that's part of the reason why I was getting these downloads. Look at deception. They deceive themselves, Spirit said. Part of the reason why I was getting them downloads, I watched like 2 different videos, but they popped up on my feed about men who they were talking about how when they lost the one, the one that was 10 toes down, that was with them when they were at their worst, the one that would have done anything for them. And the 2 videos talk about the karma they received because that person that they did dirty, they thought they could go either find another or that the person would never leave. Whatever the case may be, all of them was warning the same morning. Don't fool with a woman's heart. Do not play games with a woman's heart. They said if you want to be a player, you might as well be a player for life, because the moment you go give your heart away to somebody, that next one gonna crush you hard. Why? Because you was out there doing everybody else dirty, the good ones dirty. And one man was saying how I think his mother, he was his girl left him after, I guess, the umpteenth time, and how he didn't do her right and blah blah blah. That the moment she left him, when she just said, you know what, I can't do this no more, and left, um, things went so bad in his life that his mother went to a priestess of some order, I don't know who or what, and they told her, they said don't, because he thought and she thought maybe the girl put roots on him. No. um the priestess, whoever that was, said he broke a woman's heart. This is why his life went to shit. He lost jobs, he lost money, he lost car, he just had losses after losses, right? And one thing is very true, that relationships built on bad foundations, like things like this, they still don't work out well, right? But the person chooses it anyway. And then if in some kind of way they projected, they played games, they didn't address their shadows, and they kept hurting somebody, they life, they shit fall a fucking apart. It never is never gonna last. They'll stay in survival mode, or they'll be trying to thrive, but it won't go nowhere. Life won't go anywhere. So this is why this person's in regret. A spirit said they could be contemplating a lie to tell you in order to get back in your good graces. Just use your discernment, because I don't think they can fake healing. Okay. Some people will try it. They'll, they'll observe you. They'll listen to what you're saying. They'll psychoanalyze what you got going on. They'll stalk. They'll watch. They're analyzing you. They're collecting data. This person is collecting data. So if they ever get the courage to say something to you, they want it to resonate with you, right? But you cannot fake healing, right? And you would know if they're authentic or not. So they may be more or less deceiving themselves than they could probably ever deceive you, because you know them. Some people have this Delulu energy that they believe they're getting over on you, they're smarter than you, blah blah blah. But they quickly find out, no, you're not the one in order to play with, and that you're intuitive enough to see through the mask that this person wears. This person has fantasies with you, but they also are aware that they're fantasies because they're not really. This is giving somebody who's not going to, if they don't want to heal, they're not going to be able to realize the fantasy, and they're going to keep making bad choices. So they're going to stay in this regret energy until they go through the change. Like, it is what it is. Oop, that's too many. I'll take one at a time. Tell me about what more about the regret and the metamorphosis spirit, and then we're going to change. Retrograde testing folks to see if they still stupid. Absolutely. And they're also testing the resolve of this person, because people tend to, in a retrograde period, tend to desire even more. You saw the group chat. People desire even more to either reconnect or test somebody. A lot of times it be the test though, when they haven't healed. Tell me more, spirit. Yeah, it's settling. They regret settling with this whoever that narcissist is in their life. They regret making the wrong choice. They regret living the lie that they're living right now, because whoever it is, they're deceiving themselves. They haven't deceived you, because maybe they have in the past, but not no more. Man, listen. I told y'all about that broken plate. After a while, you know what it is. So their whole MO is easy. Listen, an unhealed person is not somebody who has changed. So they come in the same energy. They may come at you with a slightly different angle than the last time, but they still come in the same way. Because who the core of who they are is resolute. I'm still that person. Because I'm not going to deal with my pain. I just want to deal with you. That's what they get. That's the type of energy they on. I haven't dealt with my shit, but I still want to deal with you. You take it how it resonate. If it don't resonate, don't take it. And make sure you ring that bell. That way you notified anytime I come on. So y'all get to see my little bell. All right, tell me more about this craziness. Who is that and what is that, spirit? Listen, whoever this person is that they are dealing with, okay? They all talk, no action. They're a gossiper, they're a shit talker, they got foul mouth, they spread rumors. They're really not a threat. They're more annoying. And a lot of times people don't realize that the person they bound to, because they feel like it's emotional blackmail with them, um, that person's not, everybody know that they breath stink in the sense that everybody knows that they talk shit, and they all talk no action. Like their reputation is what it is. And this person is like caught up in believing that people believe it. So they feel like I gotta stay with them. I gotta be bound to this person because they'll tell people lies about me and folks will believe the lies that they tell them. That's that emotional blackmail. It don't even have to be true. They'll insinuate some shit. And this person, whoever your person is more, they're a people pleaser. They're more worried about what people think of them than they worry about the truth or their happiness. They may not have experienced what real love is until you, but it's not real to them. It's a fantasy, right? So that's giving limerence, right? They may be in limerence with you, but it feels so intense, right? And it feels so right, but it lacks the authenticness of love. So you may be a giving soul and an empathic person, and you may give love, but this person can't receive what they don't know that they have. This will cause somebody to do things that would mean that you don't, like, you can't resonate with, like ghosting or lying and cheating or whatever, because they don't know what love is. They dealing with somebody who just got a big mouth, talk a lot of shit. This is also somebody will say, I love you, but they don't mean it because they don't show the person love. They just say it, right? And so this person thinks that abuse is love. So they stay stuck in a situation they choose to stay stuck in because that pain that they're used to is what feels good to them. At times, not all the time. It's kind of like when that person shows them some sort of kindness, they feel like, okay, I made the right choice. I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing. Only for that person, that same shit talker, one, to not live up to anything, and two, to pull the rug up from under them whenever they feel it's convenient. Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, something brewing. Like I said, this person going through the dark night of the soul. So you have to tell them no. But I feel strongly your spirit guides is what you saying, nah. Nah. I mean, I feel like for some reason though, I just feel like your spirit guides is all over this. And like, nah, they can't just come to you with the okey doke, you know. I just feel like this person got a lot of work to do. All right, a lot. Tell me more, spirit. Nope. One at a time. Okay, so this is what they dealing with. They don't feel at home where they are. So wherever they are, they just either they're in a very precarious situation that is so temporary feeling. It could feel like they don't know how long they're gonna be there, or they're just in survival mode. They're isolated a lot because they I don't feel like they get along with that big mouth person. But again, that person is emotionally blackmailing them. So, mm. And this is also about transition, which is what the metamorphosis is about. They face a lot of adversity there. This person don't eat or sleep right. I don't know how they even bathe well, to be honest with you, or get their clothes clean or something like that. They struggle. They might as well be out on the street if they're not. Or if they're not on the street, they may be very close to being on the street. So they got a lot to think about. This is why there's contemplative energy here. There's some contemplative energy here. They're going through a lot of adversity. Yeah. Chris said they still got hope, but he ain't looking too good right now. What's that? Yeah, loyalty, surrender, offer, and loyalty. Yeah, you are a trusted friend or companion to this person. You had an unconditional love. You probably have more of a healthy bond, but I feel like they projected onto you. You offered protection, support, affection, joy, comfort. They had it all. They had the full package with you. But this is somebody who had never seen what the package is supposed to look like, you know? This is somebody who got a surprise me box, but they getting picky over what's in it. You know what I'm saying? Like this person was like, oh, if I got this, then I can get a bigger present. You know how those game shows are where they say or they give you, I don't know, let's just say they give you a couple $1,000, but then they tell you if you take that $1,000, you can bet it on this box, but you don't know what's in this box. That's this person. So they got money, they could do a lot with that money, or they could bet it all on that box. And what could be in that box is not guaranteed to be in that box. So this is the type of person that was taking chances and gambling with your loyalty. Also, I would say this if this is a masculine I'm talking about, and I feel like it is, but men, unfortunately, do not seem to understand how they are covered under a woman's covering. When a woman loves you, the protection over you, that umbrella of protection over you, saves your life. They can have near death experiences, but because she loved them, they made it. Take it how it resonates. It ain't gonna resonate with everybody, but a man who is not with the woman he want to be with, they know what it is. Because when they reflect, when they have that what they say, come to Jesus moment, when they have those moments of deep reflection and contemplation, they realize like, oh shit, I tricked myself out of that spot. Because the problem here, and this is what a lot of the men were talking about, is that they will cross the line like of no return and can't understand how they did that to her, right? They could find another woman that they find to be more glamorous, prettier. She might have more money. But there's something about the essence, the true essence of the one that got their heart, that they did wrong because they took her for granted, that she can never be replaced. I don't care who they get, who they settle with. She will never, ever be replaced. All right, tell me more. This is a play stupid games, get stupid prizes type energy. Tell me more. Bumping heads. Okay, so where this is why they okay, there you go, spirit. Whoever they are, whoever they're with, they do not get along. There's intense conflict. They're both stubborn. There is something brewing with that too. It could be coming to a head, or they could be having some major arguments and disagreements and maybe brawls with this person. They regret settling with that person. They regret, Spirit said they regret not changing for you, meaning not changing like to be a different version, but at the same time, they regret not improving their lives to be with somebody like you. Because all they had to do is put in a little effort into themselves and be consistent with that. And they didn't do it. So now they bumping heads. Now they arguing. I told you they don't like who this foul mouth person is. So this person is having, like, wherever they are with that karmic energy, oh Lord have mercy. Can you imagine the fights? Police being called, neighbors complaining. It's just embarrassing. And it's ugly. What's the bottom? Yeah. And they can't come back to you because you cut the cord. You released, you detached, you feeling more empowered, you got your boundaries, and you're healed. You're not dealing with no deceptive person that all they can do is think about you, but they can't talk to you. They can't, or they stay in these toxic situations, whether they told you about it or they didn't. You know, this is somebody who lives in a fantasy, and nothing wrong with them. I ain't never went through nothing like that. I'm good. Everything's great where I'm at. That's what they tell themselves. That's what they tell others. You know, they won't acknowledge their trauma. Okay. You might be one privy to it, has some glimpses. You may or may not have had it, or you now know. Okay, because I feel like if the person kept a lot from you, there's things you started to uncover. You had to cut the cord from this person. Your spirit guides is not playing with you or them. You had to cut the cord. This person, Spirit said being around them meant that you would have to shrink who you are. They would literally drag you through it, because an avoidant person thinks that if you love them, that you doing too much, that you are nagging, or what else they were saying? Like somehow you might be overbearing, or they may be and fantasize about you, admire you, and then the closer they get to you, somehow they get annoyed because and something switched in their brain and told them, you don't need this person, and they start looking for the ick so that they don't have to be around you. Those are the cycles you may have gone through, a couple of those with this person, till no more. They are now dealing with the person that they chose over you that has emotional blackmail over them. Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's do one more round of this. Yeah, so they having a standoff with this person, and they may even have a standoff with you because this is more about you guys being in silence, not speaking, in action. But Spirit already said, don't do nothing when it comes to this person. Let them look at you, but keep your mouth shut. Let them have whatever it is that they think they have access to. It means nothing if they're not in a connection with you. So y'all may be in a standoff, but they also are arguing and beefing with that foul mouth person. That guard, about to say that garbage something, a sewer meeting type energy. Tell me more, Spirit. What I tell you, this is what's brewing. This person feels like they're a spiritual babe. Why? Because they know you like tarot. If you paying attention to this, they know you like tarot. They know you like all kind of little spiritual things. You might be a little kitchen witch or something like that. They know what you like and who you are. So this person's gonna come in and pretend to be healed. Like, hey babe, I'm always gonna be there. I am your the day one. They could have a lot of tats. This one does. He got lots of them. It look weird too, because the way they did this AI image, and it's definitely AI, his shit look like one of them fake sleeves that people wear to act like they got a tat when they don't. This person is they want to appear balanced. Yeah, they want, and then also they're new to spirituality. All right, you may be something you introduced them to, but this new spiritual base is new to spirituality. They trying to pay attention to what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? I know collective did this and collective did that. Mm, so that's cooking. But they ain't fully healed because they ain't finished working on themselves. I mean, what's spirit? Yep, Bob the Builder. They got to work on themselves. Strength, repair, rebuild, support, restoration, commitment, and renew. This person has a lot of work they still have to work on. Now, I will say this: you can work on your shadow a little bit, or you can work on it forever. Because when it comes to working on yourselves, you can never stop. Like till you can be 100 years and discover something new about yourself, your patterns, your whatever. You can literally change it if you're capable of, you can change it. Oh, Lord. The other problem with this person is that they are stalking you and they are anchored to do so, meaning they are fixated on you. This is somebody that sees you as grounded. They see you as hope. They see you as safe. You were safe for this person. They may not have been safe for you, but you were safe for them. And they stalk you. They're in an obsessive way. They try to be covert. Sometimes I feel like they don't. They're obvious with it. But I do feel like this person stays watching you. Okay. Normally I don't take two cards on one, but them came out my hands. So I took them. Chris, go ahead, take it. And it answers a lot of questions. So they stalked me. We talked about that tonight too on his live. Like he said basically they're never really gonna stop until they, I don't know, get married or something like that. Like till they get their full attention changed. They obsess over you. They want to know you're okay. They want to know what you ate today, what you thinking today, what you doing tomorrow. They want to know. Tell me more, spirit. now. Come on, please. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of gossip. I felt that from the rip, but there's a lot of gossip that surrounds their connection with whoever that karmic person is. And they also feel like this karmic is going to tell, if they leave that karmic, the karmic is going to tell lies about them. Like if it was a man, she's gonna say, "Oh, he gay," and he might not be, but especially if he's not, she's gonna say he's gay. She's gonna say he crazy, or he harmed her, or he did something. She's gonna make up a narrative that's gonna mess with this person, and they could just, they might even have told them, or they're just concerned that it's gonna happen because of crazy things that have come out of that person's mouth already. What's the Bible in that? Yep, you you tell this person the truth. Like you don't like it, it's okay, but you can get to stepping. That's what that energetic cord. I feel like you cut the cord a long time ago with this person. You detached a long time ago. Maybe they were unaware of their attachment. A lot of times, avoidance. If you go ahead and move on, they're still thinking that they're going to be in the same pattern with you. So they haven't. They don't necessarily accept that you've moved on until you've proven that you did. Meaning by just not being in, just don't deal. You don't care. You don't care. You don't deal with them. You don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't interact with them. You nothing them, and they just assume you're not. They holding out for me. Hell, they with a new spiritual babe, they probably buy a deck and try to see if you can't come back to them. And the spirit said, "Nah, your spirit guys cut the cord, helped you cut the cord with this person." So your person, they are in it's a really tricky space to be in. They're unhealed, right? They're in an unhealed space and they want to connect with you, hold on to you, but they can't do both. So they gotta go back over there. Oh, this is what he said too. He was saying how they'll run back over to the other person, the karmic, and erase you out of their life for that time being, in case that person sees them lusting after you or obsessing over you or whatever. God forbid that person know you exist. Then it's going to be a problem for them. So this person, they'll have a backbone. They people please. Yeah, y'all giving each cold shoulder, break up, ignoring, keeping busy. They do that with that karmic too, but it's just they will find their way back together because they're trauma bonded. And they're in a very unhealthy trauma bond. So take it how it resonates. If it don't resonate, don't take it. Tell me more. Planning. Yeah, they thinking this is where the decision comes in. They don't know if they should text or call you. They're hesitating. They want to take you out. They want to tell you all they know. They want to tell they improve their life. But Spirit said they still having a hard time building themselves up. Tell me more. What's that? Yeah, they're hurting. You're crying, depressed, feeling sorrow, and rejected because your spirit guides moved you to cut the cords. So yeah, whoever this is, they're not taking it well. Okay, just keep that in mind. They're not taking it well. This is somebody. This is not how they saw things turning out, and they are not dealing with it accordingly. Tell me more, spirit. If that resonates with y'all, shout me out in the comments. If anything resonates with y'all, thank you for coming. Thank you, and make sure you ring that bell when you notified anytime I come on. Broken mirror. Woo. You are this person's biggest lesson. You shattered the mirror. So this person didn't just look at themselves in the mirror. They start to see their vices. It says addictions. They're having an awakening. But they struggle with this awakening because This person, let's just say they have mirrors all over the house. This person will cover the mirrors just not to look at themselves right now. And, and their life is they're going through turmoil. Things are not working out well. And, the thing about spirit, when these connections happen and then they get broken up, the karma they face is not always like a mirror of what they did to you. Meaning they don't necessarily the first girlfriend. Now it happens though, but so it doesn't mean that the next chick that they're with is going to be a heartbreaker. No, they may not go into it worried about their heart, so that's not it. Spirit don't hit them in their finances. They don't hit them in their transportation. Like they don't, if they have a car, they ain't gonna have it much longer. Whatever way they take it, they take it. But their bread starts to dry up. That money start to dissipate. So, yeah, safe love, trust, security. You're home. This person allowed a shit talker who wasn't gonna do nothing but talk shit, cheat them by Jedi mind tricking them out of their spot with you, where they felt safe and loved, and they had the truest form of love because they've never been in love. They let this person trick them into settling with them, trick them out of their spot with you. So where they are now with the conflict and the gossiping and all the nonsense that's going on, whatever they got going on, they lost that sanctity, that protection that came with you. And all they can do is sit there in contemplation and think of you. Nostalgia, missing you, grieving you, fixated on you, and manifesting. So they want to return. They want a reunion. They want to reconcile. But Spirit said all they can do is think about you. I'm hearing what's his name? Stevie Wonder. All I do is think about you. hmm So all they do is think about you. That's all they can do. They're not capable of anything else because they still got to take off the mask. You're going to see right through them. So if they came to you, it'll be a self fulfilling prophecy to come to you unhealed, to come to you unchanged, barely through the first phase of their awakening. It's going to likely get you to shut that door quicker than, I'm saying sooner rather than later. And doesn't mean they're going to stop watching, stalking, or obsessing over you. Just means that they still won't be able to attain you. And they may make it so that, like, y'all can't even be friends, sis. I mean, sis and brother. You're not going to be able to, this person's not going to want to ever talk to them again. If they come with that deceptive energy, if they come not understanding how they hurt you in the past, just because they feel pain and sorrow doesn't mean you are supposed to rescue this person. You're not supposed to make it easy for them. This person has to find their way. And their way, I'm pretty sure when you love somebody unconditionally, because I know I've done it for people, I will research some shit and send you on your way. I will give you nowadays, now, with my closest people, I'll be like, here's your assignment. Here's your assignment. You need to call this person, go to this store, get this thing, take this, do this, but I will give you the whole roadmap. This person has to now navigate with the path that they chose, right? You didn't choose that path, so you can't stop them. They now have to navigate. If they got to pull out an old fashioned map, they're going to have to figure it out. They have to ask questions. Me and my husband was talking about the library. And back in the day, I don't know how you do it now. I mean, I know that the library books are coded and everything, and they use that um is it the Dewey Decimal System? Am I saying that right? Whatever, they use that system to code the books in the library. But back in the day, you had to go to a librarian, say the book you needed. She would pull out a little card and then tell you the section to go find it. Now they probably do that too, but it's probably more digital, more electronic, uh, and they may help you go get it. But we had to find out stuff. We had to go ask questions. We had to inquire. This person has not put in the effort to go inquire about what they need to do. This person just knows they tricked themselves out of a spot. They're in regret energy. They're going through a metamorphosis. And they understand that you are safe, love. But part of that metamorphosis is letting go of the toxicity that's keeping them in the place that they're in and whatever they're doing. So if if that resonates with you, take it. If it don't take it. You know what I'm saying? But that is it. That's your story. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. What Spirit gave me. Oh, I always gotta hydrate myself. But yeah, so y'all got a person that's butt hurt probably since childhood and projecting a lot of wounds onto you and others that just really has not dealt with their own core wounds. And it's going to be up to them to deal with their core wounds so that they can have any semblance of a healthy relationship with whomever they choose to have it with. But for when it comes to you, Spirit said your name is Bennett and you ain't in it. That these bumping head, cold shoulder, whatever. Part of that's your energy, but for the most part, the conflict lies with the narcissistic person that they are succumbing to with their people pleasing. With their people pleasing, So if that's the message, y'all. I hope that resonated in a positive and healthy way. Like if you had to recognize something for yourself so that you can go heal, I hope it does help. And remember, if you haven't looked in a while, in my bio on the channel is a link to NAMA, I think it's called. But I know it's the National Association of Mental Health. And there's several links so folks can get help, right? You don't know where to go. They may give you a Scooby-Doo clue so that you can figure out what direction you should take to get support for yourself. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the message, y'all. I want to thank you for coming. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, I hope it was helpful. I don't like delivering these messages all the time, but a lot, I should say, not all the time, but sometimes they need to be said. Some things need to be understood. Your person's ghosted you, but yet at the same time, they're not speaking directly to you. They're in like limerence energy with you. It's a false sense of love. It feels very intensely like love, but when it boils down to it, this person is unable to reciprocate love back to you because they don't understand what love actually is. And believe it or not, there's a lot of folks like that just they don't come from love, they don't recognize love, they don't know how to give or receive love. And that becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy of everything always goes wrong for me, no one ever understands me or stays with me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I thank y'all for coming. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. And you start to see posts from me come up soon. I'm gonna bid you adieu and good night. Love you guys and peace.